Today I'm going to walk you through Amazon product photography, a complete guide of which types of product photos are helping sellers generate sales effectively on Amazon. What are their roles in click-through rate and conversion rate of your listing and their benefit to your brand and your product reputation. I just want to have a quick note as this is a critical phase in your Amazon FBA business where you can make it or break it, as you can see over here, because after you have found a product and spent a lot of time developing your product and find a good supplier to source the product, right? And if you don't have a very well optimized listing, including visual content, that is photography and video, right? And also your listing copy. And if you then spend a lot of money on promotion, advertising, driving traffic to your listing, driving people to your listing, but if you don't have a good presence of your product through the photos, videos, and you don't communicate well through your listing copy. So at the end of the day, you will end up very high advertising cost of sales and low conversion rate. And it will eat up all of your net profit eventually. So this is the phase where you make it or break it. Even if you have a good product, if you don't know how to present your product effectively, of course, nobody will actually see how good your product is. As many other things in life, it happens the same way. I have seen many restaurants making good food running out of the business because they don't know how to market their restaurant well enough. So this is a critical part. About Amazon product photos, you will usually have 7 to 9 or more photos to be shown on your Amazon product listing. And the first photo will be the main photo, and usually the other 6 photos are called secondary photos, usually 6. That means it depends on the category. So most of the categories, you will be able to show 7 photos. The main photo will have some different characteristics, and it carries more roles in the performance of your product listing, which I will talk about further in the next slide. And then we will go through 11 high converting product photo styles on Amazon. So this is a quick look of a listing on Amazon and specifically the product photos, right? About this 360-degree scene image, which is pretty interesting. And before the official launch of the feature, Amazon actually saw a promising increase in the conversion rate across all the selected sellers in the pilot program. So we definitely will look into it. Firstly, main photo, it plays an important role in the performance of a listing click-through rate and conversion rate. So click-through rate is whenever your listing or your product is shown in the search result of how many times your product has been shown, how many clicks your listing has gained of all of those impressions, right? So we call it click-through rate. So it depends on whatever your product are being shown in the search result, including the main photo and the title, the price. I will show you quickly later. And of course, anything visible on your listing will contribute to the conversion of your product, right? So of course, the main photo also plays an important role in the conversion rate of your listing. So when somebody buys your product, that means that you have converted that person from a shopper to a customer, right? So we call it conversion rate. Some qualities of a high performance main photo. Firstly, it should have a white background. At least that is the majority of the product listings on Amazon currently. To be honest, occasionally I still can see a number of listings that don't have white background for their main photos, but somehow they still went through Amazon's scan. But this is the mandatory requirement for the main photo for every product listing on Amazon. So better we just follow it. And the second quality or second factor that contributes to performance of the main photo is the coverage of the product image in the photo frame should be as much as possible. So I will show you quickly in the next slide. And another thing is the angle of the product, or the angle where you put the camera to point at the product is very important. So you should decide which angle of your product that you will show to your potential customers at their very first impression of your product, right? And also lighting is critical because a dull and dim product photo will not be attractive to anybody. So lighting and angle are very important. Another thing is that colors can do the trick. So basically, not just the color of your product, but the colors of the accessories that go with the product, which you are allowed to show in your main photo. You can utilize those elements to draw attention from the searcher and get them click in your product in the search result. So if you know how to use the colors well, you can make your product listing prominent in the search result. Okay, so this is the search result. And as you can see, each listing has the main photo and the title, the price, some other conditions for shipping. And as you can see, the most important element of your listing search result snippet is the main photo. So these are the main photos. What I meant about the coverage of the product image, right? So this is the coverage of the product image. Take the most of the photo frame. As you can see, this is the frame. It makes the product look more prominent, bigger. So the bigger it is, it's easier for the shoppers to see what does it have on the product, right? So that is one thing. And also, as I mentioned, the angle and the lighting as well is also important. As you can see, this one has a little bit of shadow, whereas this one pretty much of the flat lighting, but you don't see any shadow or the shininess of the product, right? And again, another example of the product that fills the most of the photo frame. These are the search results. When somebody goes to Amazon and search for coffee scrub, Amazon will show a number of products in the search result. As you can see, the product takes almost 100% of the photo frame, which is different to this one where you can see we still have space surrounding the product, which is just an empty white space, right? Another example of lighting in angle, as I've mentioned, as you can see between these two main photos of the two products, this one has the lighting. Obviously, as you can see, that highly likely that is natural light, the sunlight, and it shows some shadow on the product as well, because this product is the beach there, right? And the natural sunlight like that, of course, gives you the feeling already like, oh, I'm by the beach, I'm on the beach right now. And the angle of showing the product also very effective. Shoppers can see the side mesh pocket is kind of like additional feature of the product where they can put in more items and carry more personal belongings with them to the beach. So more storage. Whereas this one, you don't see any shadow. The lighting, I call it pretty flat lighting, and it's just 90-degree straight to the front of the product in terms of the angle. So it doesn't show on the side a little bit, right? Not like this one. And another thing is that if you notice is that the product image also takes most of the photo frame, whereas this one, as you can see, there is still a lot of empty white space surrounding the product. And whenever you go to Amazon, you put in a keyword and then you search for something, right? And then Amazon will show a lot of products. If any listing that doesn't have a prominent or appealing enough main photo, of course, will not be able to draw your attention. And if they don't have your attention, how come they have your click, right? So the first thing will always be attention, and then of course click. And the key factor to get click is how appealing your product looks in the main photo.